my channel. It's a girl, Carol. Yeah, Jesus. God, sorry guys, I'm sweating a whole lot. For some reason today, I was trying to set my tripod stand and it fell down and broke. Like seriously, so I've had to construct. So guys, in one of my previous videos, I mentioned looking for a help because I couldn't do a lot of things myself, and I really needed help. I really needed help. If I were expecting just one baby, I could have managed, but because of, if you guys have followed my channel, like I've had a very troubled pregnancy journey, and I really needed help. So along the line, I got a help. But guys, this was just so short-lived because for some reason unknown to me, this girl just opted and ran away. This girl ran away on Friday. Today is Monday. She ran away on Friday for reasons I don't even know about. So she came in, I think she came in first week of, no, she came in second week of February, I think something like that. And I made a video. I even wanted to like feature her in the video. I made a video. I'll even add a clip of how well she arranged my room. Like my room was well arranged and everything. She made sure like the house was neat and all. But then I discovered like some traits. She doesn't like to be reprimanded. She didn't like to be reprimanded. If you tell her don't do this, she'll either sulk the whole day or just go into her room and cry. And I'm like, why are you crying? Why are you crying? When I say something, listen. Now I'll give you guys an example. On the first week of March, we were expecting a visitor. So was it first week of March? No, it wasn't first week of March. This was April, yes. Just this April year that just passed though. We were expecting a visitor. And I told her what to do because the smell of egg like turns me totally off. I told her what to do, only for me to get to the kitchen to be sure that she was like doing exactly what I wanted before the visitor arrives. Only for me to find out that this girl boiled half crate of eggs. Like she boiled 15 eggs. The instruction was fry 4 eggs. We're expecting a visitor. Fry 4 eggs. And this was the reason why I needed to serve the visitor bread and tea because it was just very early in the morning. Fry 4 eggs so the visitor can have breakfast. Lo and behold, my madam boiled 15 eggs. Asked you to fry 4 eggs and you're boiling 15 eggs. So I spoke to her that I didn't like that. When I give instructions, I expect the instructions to be followed to the latter. And she started crying. Oh. She sulked all day. That was not even my business at all, you know. This whole thing continued. She was doing her job very well. Before you know it, attitude set in. You tell her do this, she'll do that. Fried Irish potato and egg for the children to take to school. By the time I come in the morning and I check the children's plate, I'm seeing beans and yam and boiled egg. Like, who eats this kind of food? Who eats this kind of food? Like, I don't understand it. Eh? Another time I'll be like, okay, make rice and stew. I'll come, I'll just see white indomie in my children's lunch plate. Like, seriously, why didn't you season the indomie? Why didn't you garnish it? Why is there no egg? Boiled egg or fried egg? She just started misbehaving and I kept ignoring up until 2 weeks ago. I noticed she started self-medicating. I like we don't self-medicate here. When we're sick, we go to the hospital. If you need to see a doctor, I take you to the hospital, you conduct tests. Or I call my sister who's a nurse to come check you, take your blood for test, and then we'll buy the necessary drugs. This one continues. I will still notice she's still self-medicating. So on Friday, No, on Thursday, she didn't even tell me where she was going to. Before you know it, uh I was calling and calling, no response. The next thing she came inside, where did you go to? She said she went to buy slippers and some drugs. Why are you self-medicating? Didn't I tell you not to self-medicate in this house? She's like, that this one is just Miss Alba. I'm like, okay, can I see all the drugs you bought? Let me see all the drugs in your bag. She said she's coming, she wants to drop the slippers. She dropped all the drugs and brought only the Miss Alba. By the time she brought the container, it was empty. Why is this container empty? She apparently poured the whole container of Miss Alba into hot water and took it. I'm like, is that how they take drugs? My sister was in the room. I'm like, Biko, come and see. You are the nurse. Is this how you take? She's like, no, just a tablespoon of Miss Alba is good to go. 5 mils, 10 mils, 10 mils. You know, it does the job. So later, I sent her on an errand because I wanted my sister to check what she bought. My sister checked the drug and was smiling. I'm like, what is it? She's like, "Egbon, don't worry." I'm like, what is it? She said, don't worry. I'm like, okay. Oh. Before this time, this girl will tell me she wants to go and barb her hair. Like she wants to go and cut her hair. She'll leave the house around 6 o'clock. She'll come back around 9. I was so worried that day. She told me there was crowd in the salon. I'm like, no, in this area where we live, there is never crowd in the salon. Never. There is never a crowd in the salon because my son barbs there, my husband barbs around here. So I don't get it. In fact, series of events, I should have actually known that something was just going to happen soon. But I think I was just so relaxed and didn't think that anything of the sort would happen. You know, before you know it, I sent her to buy vegetable just around the house. This girl left since 6 o'clock up till like 9:30. She wasn't back. Up till 9:30, she wasn't back. And I'm like, what's going on? I had to call my brother to leave what he was doing to come help me search for this girl. Seriously. My brother had to leave whatever it is he was doing in his house, come down to my area to start looking for this girl. Only to see her in one corner of the estate with a boy. You know, he came inside and told me. I was like, please, I have children and I don't want them exposed to this type of lifestyle because children are growing. The society, a lot of things are happening, and you know how this whole thing starts. Me, I've started talking to my children about sex education, about private, public, and you know all these kids. I've talked to them about it. I don't want another person. I don't want any external influence to come and spoil all the good thing that I'm trying to do for my own children. That's how we just dey carry dey go small small. I just kept managing it because seriously, this is the first time I was having help. I just didn't want to be over harsh on her, so I just tried my best to be really accommodating. See all this one, I didn't even know that she had her own plans. I didn't know she had her plans. So on that after that Thursday that my sister checked the drugs, on Friday morning she dressed the children for school. I came out when my alarm rang. Usually she would dress them. Before now, I would sleep in till 11. But when I discovered how she started misbehaving, I'm like, okay, I always like come out to brush my children's hair, just make sure they are like fit for school and the rest of it. I came out that morning, I brushed my daughter's hair, you know. They stepped out. No, before they stepped out, I just went in to like, freshen up. She had poured water on her head. I'm like, why you pouring water on your head? She said she's feeling dizzy and weak. I'm like, sorry, don't worry, my sister will soon be back. Because I sent my sister to the market. So I'm like, don't worry, she'll soon be back. She will check you to know what's going on with you. Apparently, what I said made her panic. I didn't even know. Me, I went inside to freshen up. By the time I'll come back, see this thing I'm staying is like 10, 15 minutes. By the time I came out, I called her name. I didn't hear any response. I checked her room. I discovered the bathroom door was closed. So I'm like, okay, maybe she's taking her bath. After 15-20 minutes, I still didn't hear anybody's voice. I called her again. What's going on? Nobody's voice. I checked around the whole house. I didn't see her. I then called my husband. Did you go with this girl to drop the kids? You know I don't want her to know where my children's school is situated, because me, no matter how tired I am, no matter how much in pains I am, I still pick my kids from school. I cannot play with my children. I not fit with my children play at all, you know. So I didn't want her to know where their school was. I'm like, why would you take her along? And it's like, no, they left her in the house. I told him she's nowhere to be found. My husband playfully said, are you sure she has not run away? Seriously, I actually thought it was joking. I thought it was joking, but I went into her room. I checked, I didn't see her bag. So I called him. I'm like, it's like, true, this girl has run away. Oh." See, I panicked. I panicked not because, I couldn't do my housework alone. I panicked because this is somebody's child that was brought under my roof, under my care. I'm like, Jesus, what am I going to tell her parents? What will I tell any what's hey Jesus? I panicked seriously. So he came back and he's like, calm down, calm down. And then we called her parents, we called the lady that contacted her mom for us, and we called everybody. We tried this girl's number all through till today. Her number is switched off. So we waited to the appropriate time and we reported to the police. So as it is, we're waiting for police response if they've seen her, or we should just stop worrying. In fact, at this point, I'm even confused. I'm even confused. Seriously, I'm confused. But anyway, so far so good. I just decided to come and download the events that has been, going on. Since Friday, all these people, they will feel these things, you cannot do it. But this is my very first time of having a maid. I've never had a maid before. This is my very first time. I do everything on my own. So the whole shakara really been tire me. But anyway, I give God praise that at least I'm still able to wash my plates. I'm still able to spin the clothes in the washing machine. These are things I have to remind her over and over and over and over again to do. But I'm just doing it small, small. I'm doing it small, small. I've been asked not to stress. And I won't lie to you guys, standing up to do one or two things, the pains that I feel. This one, they used to call it lightning crutch. This one is thunder. The pain is consistent. It's terrible, it's really terrible. But we move, Jerry, we move. Nothing is going to spoil our joy. We move. So guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for listening to my rants. Until our next video, Jerry, have a nice week ahead. Bye. Love you.